You are listening to 600 Second Saga. The Halloween bonus feature is Bloody Sherri by Tamara Hecht. When Jen shut the bathroom door behind her, it was completely dark. The tiny crack of light that slipped in under the door did little to illuminate the tiny space. Perfect. Jen had chosen her new home's downstairs bathroom because it had everything she needed. A space small enough that she could feel her way around in it, a mirror, a lock so she wouldn't be interrupted, and then it was time to begin. A feeling of nervousness crept over her. It wasn't that Jen had never done the Bloody Mary ritual before. She had tried it once or twice in her old house. Of course, that was in the human world, where it was always bright, always bustling, and always felt very much alive. Now that she lived in Monsterville, a town that was meant only for things that go bump in the night, the ghostly ritual carried a new gravity to it. She had to know if there was any truth to the rumor that it was possible to summon a bleeding ghost from the mirror. Today, being Halloween, meant it had the greatest potential to come true. If it didn't work today, in such a place, with such earnest intentions, then it probably wouldn't work at all. In that moment, the silly rumor began to feel all too real. Once Jen had actually found herself within what she theorized to be the best Bloody Mary summoning place, her skin crawled with anticipation and worry. What if it actually worked? The whole point of this experiment was to see if it did. But what if it did? For a moment, Jen considered backing out. She kept one hand on the doorknob, an insurance policy in the tiny dark room that she could leave the instant she wanted to. Of course, she wanted to leave then and there, but her curiosity outweighed her unease. After listening to the bottomless nothingness for a moment to make peace with the silence, she was ready. She looked deep into the mirror and immediately startled at the face staring back at her. The face, she soon realized, was her own. She had been lingering in the darkness long enough for her night vision to adjust. Laughing at her own mistake and grateful for the burst of levity, she felt reassured. Of course, it was only her own face. There was no such thing as... well, she wanted to tell herself there was no such thing as ghosts, but her best friend in Monsterville was a ghost, so there was no telling what the limits of reality were anymore. Jen found herself questioning why she even wanted to meet a horrifying and potentially dangerous ghost, now that she knew that ghosts indeed exist. What was she trying to prove? Perhaps it wasn't the mystery that she was attempting to conquer, but rather her own fear. That notion gave Jen strength. Even if there was truth to the Bloody Mary story, Jen refused to stay afraid of it. She refused to stay afraid of anything. Bloody Mary. Her voice came out strained. Her throat felt dry and she had to cough a few times before speaking clearly. Bloody Mary, she said, a little stronger this time. Jen braced herself against the door. Bloody Mary. Instantly, the mirror lit up, a strange face within it. It was gaunt and hollow, with the eyes rolled back in the sockets and streams of blood pouring like relentless tears. What? The face demanded. Jen screamed. She fumbled with the doorknob. Oh my gosh, what? The face repeated. Its voice sounded young, like a teenager's. I'm so tired of people doing this, it complained. With her hands still shaking in panic, Jen couldn't grasp the door handle. She floundered up the wall for the bathroom light switch and her gaze came to rest on the face once more. It had deep shadows all over it, like there was an upturned flashlight held underneath it. So you're just going to leave? The face said. Oh my gosh, so rude. Rudest thing ever. Breathless, Jen forced herself to make eye contact with the horrifying face. "What do you want?" she gasped. The face rolled its eyes. More blood dripped from behind them. "I don't know, idiot," the face replied. "You're the one who came to me. How would you like it if someone knocked on your door, and when you went to answer it, they ran away? How would you like that, huh? Because that's what you're doing to me, okay? That's what everyone does to me. It's so rude." Jen caught her breath. She did not dare take her hand off the doorknob. "I'm sorry, Mary," she said, the absurdity of the situation not quite setting in yet. "Sherri," said the face. "It's Sherri. Everyone gets that wrong." Jen relaxed her grip on the doorknob. She found herself taking deep breaths and letting them out like heavy laughter. Of course. Bloody Mary was real, and she was an annoyed teenager. That made just as much sense as anything. "Sorry," said Jen. She turned her body toward the mirror. "So, I should call you Sherri?" The face in the mirror burst into angry flames, its jaw dropped open, revealing a pitch-black, gaping mouth. "Unless you have something to say, don't call me at all." Sherri disappeared in a blast of smoke. Screaming, Jen tore out of the bathroom. She ran down the hallway and fell against the cool kitchen tiles. It took her quite a long time for her to catch her breath. At long last, she went back into the bathroom. There was no smell of smoke, no hint of fire, and not a trace of bloody Sherri. This was Bloody Sherri by Tamara Hecht. Bloody Sherri is based on the Monsterville series. Check the show notes for links. Tamara is an author and monster movie enthusiast. She has just published her second book in a children's series called Monsterville. Tamara loves nature, video games, ghost stories, and learning about other cultures. She would like to encourage people to write the books they wish existed. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga. Happy Halloween.